Oh yeah, your boys are live. We are back in action. I am your host Cam Silver.
I am your co-host Kyle Silver.
And welcome back to the Silver Boys Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
What's good? It was good. Talk to me, brother. Talk to me. What's going on in the world, my boy?
Man, back in the saddle, bro. Last week a lot of things happened.
A lot, yeah.
Okay. A lot of good football games happened, from the NFL, also in college football. Gonna have a lot to talk about that.
Yeah.
College basketball is officially, just underway, and they're, going at it. And I love it. Loving, some of these some of these non-conference games looking real good right now. The NBA. Finally got our first, NBA Cup games going on now this week. So yeah, it's a bit more than exciting to say the least.
We got good sports, good teams going up against each other. I'm excited, man. You know I love the months of October, November, and December.
Oh yeah,
yes sir.
Yeah. Let's go through some things going on in the NFL right now. So remember how Anthony Richardson got benched?
Well, I remember.
He's back.
I'm confused.
Me too.
I'm confused. I'm slightly confused because it's not like Joe Flacco has been playing all that well.
Right.
In the last two games versus the Bills, and then versus if I'm not mistaken, the Vikings. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So it's not like he's doing all that well. After we were kind of praising Joe and how he can come in and do certain things, but the Colts they got to figure it out, number one. But you can tell that they have faith in Anthony Richardson. I think that they know that this is their future.
Yeah,
this is the guy that they should progress, and this is the guy that they need to progress in order to get somewhere. Because his upside is amazing, his potential is amazing. He just needs more experience under his belt.
Right.
And he's so young. So putting him in a situation like this, all he can do is learn from it, hopefully. And we'll see where he comes out, how he comes out next game.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't say he's tired. I hope these last 2 games of rest.
Right?
I hope these last 2 games of being off and not playing has gotten him plenty of rest. You feel me?
Me and you both, bro. Yeah, no, they're on a 3-game losing streak. They're gonna be going into New York to face the Jets this weekend. So, yeah, that's gonna be something to see. But
two terrible teams, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. But I'm the same with you. It's more so the confusion side of it. It's okay. Are we still trying to win games to maybe make a playoff run? What's happening here?
Yeah.
But overall, like you said, he needs the experience. He has to be out there. He has to learn, and this is basically the only way to do so. And even their head coach even said that it's my job to put him in the best position. It's my job to make sure that he can grow and learn as a player. And I think that's what they're doing. I guess you could just chalk this one up to just a lesson. You have to learn a lesson. Everybody has to learn lessons at different times and different meanings too.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I'm still high on him. Even though I still think that he probably should have stayed for 1 more year in college. But I'm still high on him regardless. I still think that he has a lot of potential. It's just a matter of him being able to put it all together and being able to really understand what's going on around him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pacheco is off IR, but unlikely to play Sunday. So just the fact that he's close to coming back is really big for that offense.
Very big.
I know Juju should be back as well. Along he still have Hopkins, still have Kelsey. So that all of that will be a pretty big. Now they have their own little 2-headed monster in the backfield with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco when Pacheco comes back. When Pacheco comes back. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing what the Chiefs will look like this upcoming week and the weeks beyond that.
Yeah, I agree. Pacheco is he's a bell cow at the running back position. He fights for his yards, and the fact that you have Kareem Hunt too now, that just it takes pressure off of Isiah coming back, number one,
right? Because
he could come back a little bit slower and really get his footing underneath him again. But we all know how he is. When he's in the lineup, he's gonna eat. He's gonna eat. So I'm happy that he's coming back though. I'm really happy that he's back, that he's off of IR. He might not be back for this game, but hopefully next game or the game afterwards.
Right. Right. They just ramp him up and get him up going.
He runs like he's angry. I love it.
Yes. Yes, he runs like a madman. The big thing that happened this weekend actually was so the Bears lost to the Patriots pretty badly too, 19-3. Williams, Caleb, he was 16 for 30 with just 120 yards in the air, so nothing to show for it. And after the game, Matt Eberflus said that he's going to do a lot of evaluating. Everybody's going to be looked at, and they fired their offensive coordinator and Shane Waldron, and now the passing game coordinator Thomas Brown, will take over. And I'm hearing from Adam Scheffner and a few others that in the meetings with everybody, there were talks of maybe even benching Caleb Williams too.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting, and obviously something to look at, when it comes to the Bears, because they obviously have very big problems with developing quarterbacks, as we can see.
A terrible problem developing quarterbacks. It's just, I don't know, but I kind of also blame Caleb a little bit because it's I think he's trying to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to scramble or try to be Superman a little too much instead of just hike 1, 2, 3, throw that ball.
But also at the same time, that's who he is, though.
It is.
That's you know what I mean. But also, was Shane Waldron or Matt Eberflus or Thomas Brown, was there somebody there that was telling him 1, 2, 3, throw the ball?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's also another thing, because and I think it's like also him. Another one of the things that I think that's big that we don't talk about with quarterbacks is that some guys don't trust the offense that they're in.
Don't trust the offense. Maybe him and the offensive line is just not clicking, not communicating.
You can clearly see that they're not clicking.
Obviously. I don't know, man. I don't know what's the problem over there in Chicago.
It's a lot of things to point to. Not just obviously, Caleb. I think he'll be fine one way or another. Like talent wise, he's great, but it's just a matter of him getting it down.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, in my opinion, why keep Matt Eberflus? Because he didn't show you much when you had Justin Fields, or after everybody said Justin Fields was broken. Then he leads the Steelers to a good 6 games where he was 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look over and you're like, man, he's not broken. There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah.
He looks fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He has to work on some things, but overall he looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see with the Bears are producing less offense than when they had Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
So you come in with a new quarterback and everything. Why not come in with a new coach, with a new mindset, with a new plan, with a new scheme? That's my biggest question.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with you on that. I think we should take a big look at Matt Eberflus and just that team as a whole. GM wise, also just everybody.
Even owner wise.
Yes.
Go all the way up.
Yes.
We'll go all the way up
to the top. Yeah.
Even owner wise, you have to start questioning everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think Louis Riddick said it the best. He said a lot of this falls on Waldron right now because he's fired. But if this thing keeps going the way it's going, everybody
gotta go.
Everybody has to get looked at,
from
the head coach to the GM to the owner. Everybody has to get looked at. That's involved in this process.
Mm-hmm.
You already went through 2 offensive coordinators already. Hey, that's bad.
It's terrible. And now you're not building no culture. You're not building continuity.
Mm-mm.
You're not providing the team as a whole, not just Caleb, but the team as a whole,
right?
With a comfortability, I should say.
Yeah.
And knowing that. When you come in, you know what you're working on, you know who it is, and that's just it. Instead of having one scheme from this coach and one scheme, because that was the problem with Justin Fields.
Right.
He had how many new head coaches in his tenure at Chicago?
It felt like almost every year. It was the same thing with Bryce Young.
Exactly. There's no continuity, and like I said, there's nothing to build off of.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's putting in their own ideas and confusing you, essentially.
Versus when we look at a Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix, where you could tell, they have only there's only one person that's calling the shots, and they all got it down packed right now. Everybody has it all down packed. That work fault, like when it goes to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels knows that it all comes from Cliffsbury. No one else. No one else has control of the offense, but mainly Cliffsbury. You know what I mean? He obviously has his people talk to him, but at the end of the day, that's the one voice that we're all coming to. Same thing with Bo Nix in Denver. It's all Sean Payton. You know what I mean? Like you see, you just see things like I heard Orlowski say this. Once a quarter, you see Bo Nix just getting out to Sutton on a go route. It's just as easy as that. Why can't they do that with Roman Dunzy on the
Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why can't you get DJ Moore coming across on the slant, beating his man? You know what I mean? Like it's easy things like that. Get Swift out in the open and dump him the ball.
There's no need to overcomplicate things.
Exactly.
But that's why I was saying earlier, I kind of blame Caleb a little bit,
though. Yeah,
because I
yeah.
feel like he's overcomplicating things a little bit too much. You know?
Yeah.
So.
But then also another thing is, they have him standing in the pocket too much. Move the pocket. You see that he obviously likes to move.
He likes to run too. So you should make him more of a dual threat quarterback as well.
Exactly.
Use him how a Lamar Jackson is almost, because he has that ability.
Exactly. He can throw on the run. He's a great thrower on the run. I think, in my opinion. So why not use that to his advantage? Whenever he throws on the run, he throws exactly. He does actually fairly well on the run than he does when you just have him sitting there in a 3-step, 5-step drop back. But yeah, it's a lot of questions going on over in Chicago.
Oh, I mean, there's been questions going on in Chicago for years. Pretty much, that's what it feels like.
It's like every 4 years at this point, right?
Pretty much.
Oh man. Another team I wanted to talk about real quick. The Giants. They end up losing to Germany. Now they will,
to the Panthers.
Yes, to the Panthers. Everybody, to the Panthers.
The Panthers. I'm pissed. What you got to say about it? Just go ahead.
Look, bro. Dable did not answer when they asked if Jones will be the starting quarterback. He said that they are evaluating things.
I got a take on that. I do. Hey, keep him playing. Just keep him playing. Don't put Drew Lock in. Drew Lock gonna go in there because he auditioning for a contract. You feel me? Oh, no. Drew Lock gonna start playing good, and then no. I want that number 1 pick. Keep Daniel Jones in there. Sabotage the man. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Whatever it takes to get that number 1 pick. Nope. No. Don't do it. Just keep him in there. Just wait. It'll happen. Just wait. Nope. I'm not doing it. I can't believe Daniel Jones, man. I against the Panthers.
Wow.
You look like you belong in JV against the Panthers. The Panthers is a bye week for most teams.
He threw an interception. He threw both the interceptions. I can't lie. They were kind of like, what in the world? But not one of them. One of them where it went off a dude's shoulder or something like that, and it just randomly found the Panthers. The Panthers linebacker or whatever. I was like, ooh, only Daniel Jones. That can only happen to one person.
Man, I cannot believe it. And then Joe Shane just looks. I think he looks. He is in the hot seat right now, genuinely, I think, because of how Saquon is looking over in Philly. Potentially an MVP candidate right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You lose him to keep this? I can't, man. I can't. I don't know. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
Man, they could have easily had one of the good quarterbacks in this draft. You know what I mean? They could have went up and got a Bo Nix. They could have got a Jaden Daniels if he was available or whatever. You know what I mean? Coming in if they didn't re-sign Jones. Now they're gonna have to maybe restructure that contract because obviously this upcoming draft they have to draft a quarterback.
If you don't draft a quarterback, you have to. Absolutely. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. If the Giants don't draft a quarterback, move the whole team out of New Jersey. Just blow the whole team up, move it out of New Jersey. Just restructure it somewhere else, bro. I'm telling you.
Put them in Germany. Keep them in Germany at that point.
Oh man, but I don't know. I think Brian Dable. I think he might be a little bit on the hot seat too, dude. I really think so.
I'm on the fence with that.
Me
because
too.
Think about it. Joe Sheen and Dable, they didn't ask for Jones. But also the problem is that they resigned him.
They resigned. You kept them.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing that has me on the fence. Is the fact that on a one side that you could fight for them, it's like, okay, they didn't pick this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's not what they wanted. But then on the other side, it's like, all right, what you guys kept them around instead of making something happen with Barkley, as we all seen.
Who was the workhorse? Like, he's the one that made DJ look good, in my opinion.
Oh, obviously, your opinion is obvious. It's the obvious fact.
Everybody knew. It's all New York Giants opinions.
He was the leader in both rushing and receiving that year that they got to the playoffs when they lost in the divisional to the Eagles. He was, He was the guy. So, yeah, that's my only thing. Is like, I like Dable because I think Dable's a great coach. I would like for him to get one of these quarterbacks coming in, whether that's Shador, Jalen, Cam, whoever, because I think that, those guys have pretty good potential, to say the least. So, and Dable has showed that what he could do, especially with, like what he did with Josh Allen.
Exactly.
Like, imagine what he could do with one of these guys.
Now,
right?
imagine if you got Shador, Cam Ward with Malik Neighbors now. Too.
Exactly. Or even like a Jalen Milroe.
Exactly.
A Jalen Milroe who I think plays more stylistically like a Josh Allen. You know what I mean?
I can see, yeah,
like that
absolutely.
Guy's, like, he's a gamer. You know what I mean? So I would see that, but yeah, that's just tough right now. That's a tough scene.
Tough situation over there in the Meadowlands, man. Tough situation. The swamp that is over there.
Yeah. Let's go over some of these games from last week. So obviously we talked about the Giants in Carolina. Talked about the Patriots. Buffalo survives in Indianapolis 30-20. Kansas City survives off of a blocked field goal. 16-14 to keep their undefeated season alive as they go into Buffalo. That's gonna be awesome. Let's see, Pittsburgh won by 1 point over Washington. Some people say it was a bad spot. Some people say it wasn't. Hey, look, we didn't have a definitive down the line look. That's all I can say.
I don't think he crossed it.
I didn't think he crossed it. And then after that, Washington had a chance to get the ball back too. But guess what? Jumped off sides. So, hey. You know what I mean? Washington had their chances as well, but that was just a great game to see. The Jets are horrible.
Oh, absolutely. 6-31 against the Cardinals. They lost.
Horrible. Terrible. In the words of Charles Barkley.
6 points.
Terrible in the words of Charles Barkley.
Terrible. They're just terrible, man. Terrible.
And then the nightcap, the game that we even said was going to be pretty good, was the Detroit-Houston game. That ended up being great.
Yes, absolutely.
Despite Jared Goff throwing for 5 interceptions.
5 of them, and still won.
Yeah, no, there's some things that have to be hashed out over in Houston.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need Nico back badly.
Yes.
Going into this week, Thursday, we have a thriller with the Commanders going to see the Eagles.
Great game.
Can't wait for that one.
Great game.
Interested to see what Chicago will look like as they host Green Bay coming in. Can Miami maybe start up a little win streak? They got a couple good games. They got the Raiders this week. I think they got the Patriots next week. And then that Thanksgiving they have the Packers. So they can start up a little win streak, get their confidence going. You never know what can happen, right? You have the rivalry and Baltimore going to Pittsburgh. Atlanta goes to Denver. That one's going to be a good one. Seattle and San Francisco. That one's always a good one. We just talked about Kansas City and Buffalo. Cincinnati and the Chargers. That one's going to be a good one.
Too,
that one's a make or break for Cincinnati. If Cincinnati loses that one, then they're gone.
They're done.
Yeah.
Done.
And then we finish off the week with Houston going to Dallas, which I think Houston should be able to hopefully find themselves and get back on track.
They better.
Nico Collins coming back and everything like that, so they should be somewhat full strength. Obviously, without Stephon Diggs, but they have Dell there still, Schultz mixed in. So, yeah, no, they have to get it together this week, or else, basically, right? So yeah, good week of NFL football coming up.
Sir.
More than excited for that. While we're still here, let's talk a little bit about the NBA. We got our first looks at the NBA Cup, so that was more than exciting to see.
Absolutely. Team playing tough.
Yes,
in the first day of the NBA Cup. Yep.
As they should. Orlando goes and kills Charlotte. Let's see. Oh, New York and Philly. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Paul George did his thing. He goes off 29 points, but then him and Joel, they both end up sitting the next game. And that's going to be a problem.
It is.
That's.
But you seen how Joel got fined. Well, the team got fined because Joel said he wasn't playing back-to-backs.
Right.
And then he went to the reporters and he basically reneged everything. He was just like, oh, I'm a troll, blah, blah, blah. I was like, brother.
You can't do that.
Brother. I was like, the team got on you for saying that. Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Because you don't announce that publicly.
You can't, that's not something you're supposed to say.
No.
I'm just not going to play back-to-backs. Bro, what are we doing?
But with Tyrese Maxey being out right now too, that's creating a little bit of deficit for them too.
That's heavy deficit. McCain is coming in, the rookie. He's doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing his thing right now. He's holding it down for them. Going into Dallas visited Golden State. That was a fun one.
First time Klay versus Steph.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Everybody
they were going at it.
They were.
They were going at it too. That was so cool to see.
They were. When Klay hit that shimmy on that three, I was like, oh yeah, you made Steph mad.
I was like,
you made Steph mad.
Mm-hmm.
And then last 3 minutes of the game, Steph just comes alive.
He was 4 for 4, 2 for 2 from 3, 12 points.
12 points.
Yeah, it went crazy.
He scored the last 12 Golden State points in the last 3 minutes. That's disgusting.
He pulled out he did exactly what he did at the Olympics.
Exactly. You could tell. You could tell that he's riding that high right now.
You know what's funny? I think all of them are.
Absolutely.
Everybody that came back.
Absolutely.
Think about it. AD's going crazy. AD was going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Bron just had a triple-double.
3 triple-doubles in a row.
Bugging. Anthony Edwards, he's shooting threes at an all-time high.
He's
killing
Anthony Edwards is going crazy.
He's killing for three right now.
Absolutely.
KD, before he got hurt, was smooth walking everybody right now.
Phoenix was number 2 in the West.
We'll see how much they could keep up with him being out these next couple of weeks. But everybody this usually always happens. Everybody, when they come back from the Olympics, they just come back with a different attitude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Except for Joel.
Yeah, well, because they all came back. They've all been playing with and against each other. You know what I mean? Those one-on-ones after practice and things of that nature, they turn you into a monster. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You go through the fire, going through teams like Serbia and going through France. You know what I mean? You go through that fire. You go through all of that, all that hard work and everything. So when you come back and now everybody can be the star that they want to be. Everybody gonna start showing up, and that's exactly what's going on.
That's exactly what's going on,
and that's the coolest thing ever to me.
It really is. It really is like just amazing to witness. Like the fact that, like you said, these dudes who were playing in the Olympics and riding that high, they're here right now in the NBA, still putting on a show. Yes.
Wednesday night we had a crazy night. Giannis Antetokounmpo goes off for 59.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Wembanyama goes off for 50. In the same game, Jordan Poole on the other side goes off for 42. LeBron has a 35-point triple-double. Karl-Anthony Towns goes off for 46 points and a 1-point loss to the Chicago Bulls. Tatum goes off for 36 points. I think he had like 10 boards and 9 assists, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes are scoring, bro.
Scoring.
Yes.
Scoring. Yes, absolutely. It's crazy to see right now. It is. It really is. It's still early in the season. We'll see how, when it gets later on, when we get to those 30 and 40, that 40 game, what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how
who separates themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. These last few minutes, let's go into. You already know we're going to. Let's go to college football. So we got another look at the rankings this week. Some things changed. Obviously, some haven't. As we still have Oregon and Ohio State still at 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon being the number 1 in the bracket still as of right now, as the prediction bracket still. Still have Texas number 2, while Ohio State is number 5. Like I said before, just because you are ranked number 2 doesn't mean you will be seeded number 2, because it only takes the 5 highest conference winners will be the ones that get the automatic bids.
Yes.
So Texas takes the number 2 spot, and the number 3 seed for right now is BYU. Miami's still 4, even though they lost to Georgia Tech, and they go down in the rankings to number 9. Georgia goes down to number 12, but then out of nowhere, they are on the outside looking in now. They're the first team out.
And think about how we was talking about Bama, and then now Georgia is right there now too.
Yes,
sitting at 12, outside looking in.
Yes.
Oh man, because you got Boise State right behind you, looking good. And we know, and we talked about it last week.
Yeah. As long as Boise State, for the most part, as long as Boise State wins out, they should be fine.
Colorado now.
Yep, Colorado is Colorado at this point. Don't even look at your ranking. Just keep winning.
Just keep winning.
The path is there now. Mm-hmm. Everybody else basically formed a lane for you guys. They literally just formed a lane.
You like the fact that Georgia is number 12 in Alabama 10.
I'm not even talking about Georgia. I'm talking about in their conference.
In their conference, I'm saying I agree with you there. I'm just saying the fact that there's a wide open lane. It feels.
It's a wide open lane for a lot of them now.
Yes,
for a lot of them now. Yeah. So this is it's just crazy to see, if I'm being honest. So just to keep going, like we talked about, 4 is Miami, 5 is Ohio State. Right now 6 will be Penn State, 7 will be Indiana, 8 will be Tennessee, 9 will be Notre Dame, so they will be paired up together. Ole Miss would go to Penn State, Bama would end up going to Indiana, Boise State would end up going to Ohio State, as we've seen from last week. So, predictions is crazy.
I love this 12-team playoff, man. I love it. It's so many moving parts,
so many scenarios.
Yes.
Georgia still has a good. They have a good strength of the schedule, which is still number 1. Strength of record is pretty good too. Think about it. You lose by 1 score to Alabama. The only other team that you get thrown around by was Ole Miss. Other than that, you go into Texas when they were number 1 and you beat them. You know what I mean? So they beat Clemson, who was number 14 at the time, and they're still ranked. They're still doing their thing. So they still have something to say, even if they were to win, or maybe even if they were to lose to Tennessee, they still might have something to say because of how strong their schedule is. Vice versa from a team like Penn State, we can make the argument that Penn
hasn't played nobody.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their wins, they have wins over Kent State. Kent State is 0-9 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Illinois has fallen to the wayside. USC isn't that good. Wisconsin isn't that good. The only team that you had to beat was Ohio State, and you couldn't even do that again. You know what I mean? The last time I think they beat Ohio State was 2016, 2017, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a while. Wow. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. Like I said, you can make the argument that Penn State could be under a lot of these other teams.
You could make the argument that they could be under Indiana.
Yes.
Even BYU, you can make the argument.
I think so for sure, because BYU goes into SMU and beats SMU. They also beat Kansas State. And then Indiana hasn't really played much of anybody either, but they handled their opponents though for the most part. You know what I mean? So. And then next weekend they have Ohio State, which is going to be a great game.
That's a telling game.
That's going to be a great game. I think, you know what I mean? Even if they lose, if they lose by a lot, I think that they're still
relatively be in the same in the same position.
They should still be comfortable because it's going to show that they can still play. So so many moving parts, so many things going on. Not going to go too in depth with it, obviously, because we still got a lot more to go. But I feel like I did most of that last week, just explaining what it's going to look like.
You painted the picture. Yes, you did. Yeah, absolutely.
So like I said, more than excited to see what we're going to get into. Army's still undefeated.
Army's
still undefeated, so that's awesome. That's awesome. We got 2 minutes left. One thing I actually wanted to talk about, so college basketball. So Auburn last week, on the way to Houston, a fight broke out on a team plane between Ja'Kai Howard and Jaheim Hudson. They ended up turning a plane around mid-flight, going back to Auburn. They leave those two at Auburn. And then after that, get back on the plane, go to Houston, beat number 4 ranked Houston. And then after that, you know what I mean? Like just for all of that to happen is insane to me.
That's absolutely crazy. I agree with you.
For those who probably didn't see it, there's a video of Ja'Kai Howard in their first game against Vermont. One of their teammates, I forgot who it was, but one of the teammates, he was going off from 3, feeling it clearly. Ja'Kai Howard was in the corner, wanting the ball. He didn't get the ball. Then at that, his body language was just turning to sour and just got bad. It just got worse every time down. And that right there was a bad look, and it kind of all pointed as to why, maybe, okay, this might be the reason why you probably got into that fight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So obviously, Coach Pro hasn't came out and said anything about it yet, but yeah, you could kind of almost point the finger to, yeah, you are a bad teammate friend. So
You don't belong
you don't,
right here, right
yeah,
now. Because your body language, your everything that how you're acting,
yes,
all
yes.
of it, don't like it.
Scouts, everybody looks at that stuff.
Exactly,
Especially,
yes,
you know,
they do.
you're on a top 5 team right now. You know, they just got moved up to the top 5 after their big win over Houston. So,
And shout out to the coach for
Yes.
not putting up with that.
Yo, yeah.
Not even like turning the plane around.
if you
Mid-flight.
know Coach Pearl, man, if you know Coach Pearl, bro, he's been through it all.
Mm-hmm.
He's been through it all. Shout outs to the freshman Tahai Pettiford from Jersey City. He had himself a coming out party that game. 21 points, 7-12 from the field, 5 and 8 from 3 with 3 assists.
Nice.
Hit some big shots. They were down by 9. I think early in the second half, he just started turning it up with him and with Boone and the rest of those guys, man. So Auburn's going to be a team to look out for this year.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. I'll keep my eye on him.
Yeah, there's a few other ones that we're going to get into, but that will be later on. Once, you know, hopefully we can finally get our ducks in a row with football and all that good stuff. But yeah, till then, you already know what time it is. I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I'm your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And this is Silver Boys.
Thank you.